change for the last minute.
That's probably, yeah. That should have fucked you up.
Yeah.
I just
Oh,
started
you on
live.
your shit?
Yeah. Put you right there. Call.
Nah, no, you don't. Yeah, other people can.
How's that baby? What it do? But yeah, I know they fucked you up too, though, because I tried them at one point.
Cause I drank the, well, cause when I was talking to my doctor, I'm like, I was gonna gain weight. Like I was getting my weight back up. I used to be like 240, 250. I'm not like where I'm at. I'm getting drained quicker. I'm lighter. Shit isn't working. So I said, oh, well, I forget what you're something. I just drink one of these power forwards, 42 grams of protein. And I was like, okay. And I thought it was doing better. But I'm like, oh, I'm definitely getting more energy. I'm not drinking Red Bulls. I'm definitely feeling different on it. Like I'm feeling, I think, positive. And then the only thing I can say that was really wrong was my stomach was full of shit. Like, and then all the scans, the MRI, CAT scan, yeah, all these other scans, nothing popped up. I was constipated. I literally was on the floor here, bro. That's how bad I had pain on my yesterday. I was like this, and that's how I found out what it was. Because I had to literally go like this position to figure out, like, yo, this is what this is. Oh, wow, they couldn't even tell me that?
Girl, you know they trying to make you spend some money. Last time tonight, check. Hit that like button. What's up, Kenny? 2800. Yeah, white on white violence is out of control, y'all. I think we gotta revisit this white on white violence conversation again, man. I think we gotta revisit it. It's like now that's all my timeline given. That's all my timeline been giving me lately, man. I gotta put some tags in the video. Hold up, y'all. Gotta put some tags in the video, man. What's up, man? How y'all feeling, man? See them ratings today? Got a little shaky at first. Hey, yo, hit the cash app. Clap cheeks. Larry died. There you go. You always come in trolling, man. How you do that, yo? You come in every day trolling, man. Hit that like button. We gotta have a real conversation, yo. Because I'm tired of people keep saying that Charlie Kirk was talking the truth. Like, I don't know what version of the truth that y'all heard. Yo, but that man, I ain't hear a whole lot of truth. And the last couple of days, since we took a break on him, I've been watching some of his debates, and I ain't heard too much truth. But I ain't one of them people that say he deserve to die either. I mean, you ain't gonna get that here. I don't think you deserve to die for things that you say, even though he's not, the first person to have ever lost their life because of this thing. You know what I mean? He ain't the second, he ain't the third, he ain't the fourth, he ain't the fifth. You feel me? So it's unfortunate, but at the same time, this is America. JB, what it do? And in America, you do not have the right to free speech. Nope. Maybe when ain't nobody listening. Yeah, man, you can say anything you want when ain't nobody listening.
No, the dude that did it still on roll.
Nah, they got him. I think I just got a call. When they send that shit to you, yo? You ain't did no calls today?
I seen the video. The dude was on a jet 30 minutes right after the situation.
Yeah, once you tell him send this call to you.
Yeah,
Call him.
Where's it at?
Millville, exit Beats on the highway. Yeah, yo, I think what happened to that man was fucked up for real. Like that, I don't think if unless you in your 70s or 80s, you ain't never seen nothing like that before. We might not see nothing like that in the next probably next 40, 50 years. That was fucked up, man. Then you find out that it was his own party. Make you question. Yeah, tell him give it to you. Tell me you ain't did nothing all day.
You already know how I did on that. They know that. I don't know why they sitting there too. I asked them for that call earlier.
You gonna call him?
Yeah, I'll call him in a second because I gotta put a few something. But I already asked him for that call earlier.
Yeah, they backed on. Yeah, they backed on. I'm at work, Max. Damn, why we gotta be stupid, yo? Let me show y'all some white on white violence. Shit's getting out of control, man. I told you I'm offering parenting classes, y'all. Cause obviously, yo, it's a parenting issue going on. You know, being as though all these kids being radicalized. I blame the parents for that. Man, rest in peace, Lord Scooter, man. Man, look at this shit, though. Let me show y'all something. Look at this. Manhunt underway in Georgia after police officer shot in the throat, leaving him in critical condition. Look at this. Let me show y'all, y'all. I just think we need. I think we need to get this more attention. It's not getting enough attention, y'all. Hold on. It's not getting enough media coverage. You know, we don't want to sit back and wait, y'all, until things get out of control. You know what I mean? With this white on white crime.
And a family. So please remember him and his family.
We begin tonight with breaking news. A North Georgia police officer in critical condition after he was shot in the line of duty. The McKaysville police chief telling us Captain Brantley Worley has a broken neck and is suffering from brain bleeding. He was airlifted to a hospital in Chattanooga. Right now, the police are looking for this suspect, 26-year-old Timothy Ramsey, who's still on the run. The GBI just released this picture of what they say is Ramsey running away from the scene, wearing what they describe to be a bright green chemical-resistant suit. Police say he could be considered armed and extremely dangerous tonight. The shooting happening in McKaysville, that's in Fannin County, near the Tennessee border.
Hey, yo. Let me say this. Yeah, I don't agree that man should have been killed at all. Like, I think that was horrible. I stand on that. Like, I'd never be the one that champions a person being killed just by what he say. But what people got to understand, and white America need to understand is, yo, it's been a history of this. Like, this is, I know probably to y'all this might be new, yo, but if you was to talk to some of your black friends, if you got any, they'd tell you, yo, this shit been going on since forever. And you don't have free speech in this country, y'all. Only if ain't nobody listening. But when you getting millions of people following you, you don't have free speech no more, man. That shit is a facade. You know what I mean? Now, when you talk about truth, he wasn't speaking a whole bunch of truth. You know what I mean? But regardless if it was truth, lies, whatever, that's what he believed. You should have a right to speak what you believe. You know what I mean? I think the issue with him was he was forcing his beliefs on other people. I think that's where the issue lied. Influence. Influence is a problem in this country, y'all. You can't have too much influence. Like I told y'all before, nobody is bigger than the program, man. Nobody. Let me show y'all some examples of people that try to be bigger. Nobody's bigger than the program. All of these people was killed for things that they said and things that they stood on. Either killed, jailed, I mean, false charges put on them. This how this works in this country, man. Malcolm X. All of these people. Like he's not the first person that ever experienced nothing like this. This how this country works. This how the world works. You do not have the right in this country to say what you want to say. Not to millions of people. You don't. You don't. It's sad, but it's real. You feel me? You cannot say what you want to say to millions of people, yo. And it's not just saying it. I think, yo, by him going to them campuses, I found a conversation. Listen to this conversation right here. And I said this is exactly what he was doing. He was going to the voters. You going to the youth. And you pushing your logic on these people. And it just gained too much support. Here you go right here.
Wishing for a cash advance.
That's a problem in this country, y'all.
To $250 in cash.
Yo, ain't no such thing as that. Ain't no such thing as that. Who said that? The First Amendment. Adam? Ain't no such thing as that, yo. Like, yo, y'all, I can't believe people thought that really was. Yo, we just went through a whole censorship. We just went through a whole censorship that lasted for. I told you, I just got unshadow banned from Facebook. I was shadow banned for 7 years for speaking out against Biden and shit like that. Like, yo, you can't say what you want in this country. Just can't. Can't. You gotta walk light, y'all. You gotta walk light. And I think when he just went too far. Like, just listen to some of his talking points was just too far, y'all. It was too far.
Wishing for a cash advance. You can get
too far. And I don't believe just no rogue incident. Listen to this.
Start your career in the trades with NLC.
No, he didn't speak truth. He spoke rhetoric.
Do you feel
Listen
proud
to
of
this.
yourself for debating college kids who are unprepared to speak in front of an audience like yourself? Hold on. You're 30 years old. We can agree you're 30 years old, right? Do you think that's a little bit silly?
Are you a voter?
I am a voter. I'm a
So
registered
I
voter.
vote and you vote. So I'm talking to voters of this country that will determine the future of Western civilization.
That's a problem, y'all. That's the biggest problem. Remember, I said that for the people that follow my page. I know it's a lot of new people here, but for the people that follow my page, I said that shit in the beginning. Yo, that is a huge problem, yo. You taking your viewpoints and your logic and whatever your rhetoric, whatever you want to call it. Now, I don't even believe everybody got the individual truth, but for this conversation purpose, you taking your truth to the voters, the future of the country. Man, hell no. Can't do that. You can't do that. Not saying some of the things he was saying, especially when you know, yo, this is a money game. Like, yo, you can't get in the way of the money. Yo, can't nobody get in the way of the money, man. Nobody. Especially not no individual citizen. Yo, we bomb countries for getting in the way of the money. You understand what I'm saying? Yo, we bomb countries. Yo, innocent people get murdered. Yo, you can't be no American citizen and then get in the way of the money. That ain't never gonna work, y'all. That ain't never gonna work. See, it ain't even about being afraid to speak. You know, it's about what you saying. You understand? It's about what you saying, yo. Some of the things that he was saying, it wasn't truthful. It was just, you know, how he interpreted things. Listen to some of these conversations.
Yeah? Wait, hold on. How is it any different than a professor talking to you?
Then a professor talking to you? Who are you?
Well, important enough for you to come up to a microphone.
Actually, when I first saw this ad, I thought it was like an improv comedy thing. It looked so ridiculous that I didn't even think it was real.
Well, no, you could see. Look how popular Trump is on your campus. How does that make you feel? That's not comedy. That is a 5-alarm fire for Kamala Harris because she's probably going to lose Pennsylvania.
Look.
But no, I just want to be clear. Is there something wrong with talking to voters?
No, there's nothing wrong
Yo,
with talking.
then at the route he was going, yo, the Democrats weren't never going to win again. Yo, you go into the college campuses, you go into the future of the country. Man, Democrats were never going to get back in office, man. The route he was going. Man, you can't do that, yo. I'm just saying. For the people that follow him, this my issue. For the people that follow him, y'all should have seen this day coming, yo. There's no way. See, like I said before, the only way you didn't see this day coming is if you didn't pay attention to black history. If you'd have paid attention to black history and realized, yo, nobody is exempt, you'd have seen this day coming, yo. It was inevitable. He went too far, yo. It was inevitable, yo. Yo, that's how it is, though, yo. It's always been an attack on free speech. I keep telling you, I was on the internet. Maybe y'all don't remember. Yo, but censorship was real. They was kicking people off the internet for saying too much. You know what I mean? Banning people's social media like that was real, yo. That wasn't no game. You can't do that. Let me explain this to y'all since we got 916 people. Yo, the internet, social media, right? Changed the landscape of media. So with this direction that media was going, let's go all the way back. Go back to 2008. You got this new media coming along. And now you got independent people able to change public perception. This has never been done before. For the longest time, media was fully controlled by 3 companies. Now you got this uprising, the independent speaker, and they gathering support. You feel me? They gathering support. But along with gathering support comes creating narratives. And in this country, yo, they got it. Every country ain't fucking. That's why in North Korea you can't even. They be killing fucking newspaper people and shit like that. Yo, in any country, yo, they have to control the narrative. They gotta control the narrative. So now when you got this rise in media and this rise in the independent speaker, now they lose track of the narrative. So then what you do? Censorship. We start censoring people. We start bringing our own people on. You understand what I'm saying? Because the narrative is important, yo, because at the end of the day, if you lose control of the narrative, how they look at it, yo, that is a public safety risk. That's a public safety risk. Just like it was when Martin Luther King was doing it. Just like it was when Malcolm X was doing it. Just like, you understand? Like, it's the same concept. It's the same concept. It's no different.
What we're doing here today. It's an open mic.
I think that you push a dangerous agenda.
Such as?
Your stance on abortion rights, for example.
There we go. Okay, so let me ask a question. What is your name?
Jean.
Gene, and what is your understanding of the current Republican Party's stance on federal intervention in abortion?
Well, I know that they want to bring it back to the states, right?
Yo, why? So this is the crazy thing about it. Like, yo, y'all sitting over here attacking me. Yo, this ain't even my fight. Yo, this is white on white crime, y'all. This ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just trying to provide clarity for the people that's lost, for the people that can't see. Like, I don't have nothing against y'all. I probably disagree with damn near everything he said. You feel me? But I don't think he should have been murdered for it. Like, I ain't on the side of thinking his death is funny. You never seen me. I done did 3-4 videos. I've never mocked this man's death. My thing is, people should have seen this coming. That's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. I'm trying to explain to y'all, yo, when you go this far down this rabbit hole, death is almost imminent. That's what I'm telling y'all. This should not have been a shock. For the people that follow y'all, this should have not have been a shock. Y'all should have seen this coming, man. Y'all should have seen this coming. That's all I'm trying to tell y'all.
So it sounds like you do know that the Republican Party's current stance on abortion is they're against a federal ban on
abortion. Like that, but it always been like this. You're right. It shouldn't be like this. But it always been like this. Like, this is not new. This is how it always been. I just showed y'all 14 people that got killed for the same reason. This is how it always been, yo. You can't get, nobody's bigger than the program. First and foremost. Nobody is bigger than the program. The United States is the program. Whenever you got millions of people following your ideology, yo, you are a problem in this country, yo. if you not stand on the fence. Yeah, man, you can't go too far left. You can't go too far right. You gotta stay on the fence. Once you jump off that fence and you get to running down the yard, yo, you become a problem, man. You become a problem. Because I'm gonna tell you why you become a problem. Because what if one day, right, you decide to just switch? You know what I mean? What if one day you decide, what if you stayed on the fence, you gathered 1 million, you got 10 million people following you. Then one day you just jump off the fence, now there's 10 million people coming with you. They can't have that. They can't have that. Can't have that. That's why Malcolm X was heavily monitored. That's why Martin Luther King was heavily monitored. I'm sure he probably was heavily monitored. Yo, all of these people, Candace Owens is heavily monitored. Yo, they watch these people, man, vigorously. Vigorously, yo.
Stance on abortion is they're against a federal ban on abortion.
I do
And we're
understand
talking about
that,
a
yes.
presidential election as
And that's another problem. And he wasn't even a politician. Makes it even worse. It makes it even worse when you're not a politician, because politicians can be controlled. You feel me? You got a person like this where, and he went rogue, and yo, that's, you can't do that.
Yes.
important election that we're talking about here.
I understand that, yes.
Great. So, again, I think this open dialogue is great. I think it's great you're here challenging Charlie, and I think it's great that he's willing to travel campuses across this country to talk to the next generation. We need more conversation. Now, where's the disagreement, though, on content? Because you could criticize style or why you're talking to people
Listen,
or dunk on someone personally, but where do you actually disagree with
I agree
substance?
with the way that you edit content,
And then he's talking to children that's impressionable. You know what I mean? None of these people was equipped to have these conversations with him, man. None of them was equipped. Listen to some of the things he said about black people. Like, it's not truth, y'all. Candace Owens said Charlie Kirk was fighting for some very powerful billionaires that took money from things. Hold up. See, Charlie Kirk was fighting with some very powerful billionaires that he took money from over things he was discussing. The pressure on him was immense over the last 2 weeks. The truth will be revealed. The message will be leaked. And the movement he built will rise up. Yo, Candace Owens, she need to watch out. Did y'all hear what she just said? She said Charlie Kirk was fighting with some very powerful billionaires that he took money from over the things he was discussing. What I tell y'all, man? Yo, he went too far. Like I said, yo, as long as you're on the fence, you good. You can stay on the fence. You can even, jump sides every now and then. Yo, but the minute you jump off the fence and you keep running that way, or you keep running that way, yo, you might as well, pick your suit out. I'm telling y'all, this is how this works. I didn't even know look, this was 3 minutes ago. I just was telling y'all this. I know it's gonna be backwards on the screen. I just was telling y'all this, man. Just was telling y'all this. She basically reiterated everything I've been saying. But y'all listen to Candace Owens. Candace Owens speak truth. I said y'all disrespected me. Like, I'm trying to tell you, man. I've been in the media for a while, man. I know how this shit works. This shit is heavily manipulated. You say the wrong thing, they will wipe you off the face of this earth. I'm telling you, man. This is coming from somebody that says some things that the internet disagree with, or it's against public opinion, or it's against the narrative. I know what they do to you. Now, I ain't on his level, but they'll fuck you over on a smaller level because you gotta control the narrative. You cannot have people with millions of people just saying anything. You can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. This is the other thing he said about black people. Look at this. Then you got white on white crime out of control. Shit's out of control out here, man.
Fox News alert. President Trump this morning on Fox in front.
Look at this shit. Man caught vandalizing. Look what they did to him. I don't know why this bitch ain't got no audio. This is some of the things you said about black people.
Processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot.
So whenever anybody tells you and tries to gas,
Listen to some of the things he said.
what's wrong?
Yours has more than you know. Ain't nobody out there. This is such bullshit. I've never been so pissed in my whole life.
Literally feel like the worst mom ever.
President Trump. What is the #1 cause of black death in Chicago? Are you serious? Other blacks killing blacks. Are y'all saying other blacks? Yes. Other blacks? No, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. What's the #1 cause of death of blacks in Chicago? Where's the substantial evidence? It's right there, dude. It's the real-time vetted. Where does it say it? Where does it say that it's African American? It says right there.
Yeah, look.
Where does
Listen
it
to
say
that.
Scroll down. It shows by race actually there. Are you just seeing that it's people being killed? Tell me. Right there, by race. Right there. Boom. Owned. Who is killing them?
Hey, yo.
Who is killing African Americans? Yes.
The same people killing African Americans killing African Americans, white people killing white people. Like, this is not true. You understand what I'm saying? This is like, yo, you can't. This is incomplete. Yo, people kill who they live around. If I'm in a predominantly black community and a murder happens, more than likely it's gonna be by a black person. If you're in a predominantly white community and a murder happens, more than likely it's gonna be done by a white person. That's just how that shit goes, man. It's proximity killings. People kill who they live around. That's how that works. That's how that works.
People are killing people. No. What race is killing them? Why are y'all trying to act like African Americans are just solely murdered? People are killing people. No. What race is killing? Is it white people killing blacks or blacks killing blacks? People are killing people, Charlie. Okay, but hold on.
No, that's not what he was doing. He was trying to create a narrative. The other day I was talking about white on white crime is out of control. You know what I mean? He's trying to create a narrative. Yo, there was never no such thing as black on black crime. You know what I mean? Not unless we talking about Asian on Asian crime, Hispanic on Hispanic crime, white on white crime. Yo, in this country, yo, we created a false narrative to make black people demonized by saying, look, black on black crime is out of control. But let me tell you something right now. Right now, white on white crime seems to be out of control. Are we going to divert our attention to that? You know, we just spent years focusing on black and black crime. Now, from what I'm saying I'm saying white on white crime every motherfucking way. I just covered a situation the other day where a 76-year-old white lady shot her neighbor in the face with a flare gun. Is it now time to come with stiffer laws? Because that's what they did to us. But this is the thing. They're not going to do that. You know, because that doesn't fit the narrative. That's not, you know, they don't want to ever focus on nothing like that because they don't want to be honest about what's really going on. Crime is an issue in the United States. That's just how it is. It's the United States. It ain't got nothing to do with black people. Ain't got nothing to do with white people. Now, you're going to have more crime when you're dealing with situations or when you're dealing with a community that got economic issues, you know, where drugs is rampant, where guns is rampant. Yeah, you're going to have more crime. But to say black on black crime is a thing when black on black crime was created and it wasn't created by black people, yo, that shouldn't have never been no narrative. Now, unless we're going to talk about white on white crime, yo, black people kill each other at 94%. White people kill each other at 87%. What's the difference? What's the difference? Why are we never talking about white on white crime, man? We talking about they killing each other at 87%. Yo, that's a very high number. But it was never a thing. What's the difference? 8%?
What race is killing what race more? That does not matter. It does matter because it's a black on black problem. And blacks need to solve the problem of black on black violence. Is it a black on black problem or is it a crime problem? It's a black on black problem that is a crime problem. Somehow, if it was a black on black problem, it's a crime problem. It's systemic injustice.
This is a nonsense argument. He couldn't have this conversation with me. I would doing real bad. But he's going to kids that's really not even equipped to have he couldn't have this with me. If he was to have this conversation with me, I guarantee you I'd be like, damn, he fucked Charlie up. Man, he fucked Joe up in that conversation. He's having this conversation with kids that's ill-equipped to have this conversation, man. So it comes off like, oh, he's spitting the truth. Look, they ain't nothing they can say. Yo, they not old enough. They ain't experienced enough life to be able to even have a conversation. Some of these conversations that they having with this man. This man is 30-something years old. He talking to fucking 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 21. You know what I mean? They still learning life.
Police
No,
not
what
enough
you're
funding.
saying, these racists might have a easier time with policing, and yeah, they're gonna have nearly response time of 2 seconds.
Wait, it's the police's fault that so many blacks are killing other blacks?
Who just said that?
You did.
I said that?
Yes. No, but
Kirk,
no,
please.
I want you to tell me, why is it that black Americans are 13% of the population yet they commit 55%
Yo,
of the murders?
economics. Look, Shorty can't answer that.
I mean,
Again, anyone near you can show you the stats, right? It's right there.
He
Look,
can't answer because he's not equipped. Economics, man. Poverty. It's not black people. It's criminality is the thing. Yo, what is the definition of criminality? What is the definition of criminality? Behavior that is contrary to or forbidden by a criminal law. That's what it is, y'all. And what leads people to criminality is poverty, frustration. You know, when you're in an environment, yo, where people is getting murdered, where drugs is being sold, and police is brutalizing residents, yo, crime is gonna happen. You know what I mean? If I was to go to any community, right? If I was to go to your community, and strip your community of resources, starve it. I ain't no racist. What I'm saying, I'm being honest. I ain't pushing rhetoric. If I was to go to your community and starve your community of resources for 50 years, I guarantee your next door neighbor running your house. Your next door neighbor that you speak to every day. If I starve that community for 50 years, I guarantee one of these, I bet you can't keep your doors unlocked no more. I bet you that. I bet you gotta worry about, I bet you had to worry about your money. And then, look, not just starve it, I infuse it with drugs. Infuse it with guns. Infuse it with guns. I guarantee crime start happening. I guarantee crime start happening. Yo, because crime wasn't out of control in the 50s. Yo, before they started running plays on the black community, before they killed Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and all these other people, yo, crime wasn't out of control. Crime ain't start getting out of control in the black community until about the 70s. 70s is when crime took off. You know what happened in the 70s? Assassination, 60s, assassination of Martin Luther King, assassination of Malcolm X, assassination of Huey Newton. You feel me? You know what happened in the 80s? The crack epidemic. You know what happened in the 90s? Mass incarceration. You feel me? Like, yo, these things happen, yo. And these things wasn't orchestrated by black people, yo. We didn't put crack in our neighborhoods. We didn't do that. We didn't put that shit in our neighborhoods, man. And like I said, you go to any community, and do that to them, crime gonna get out of control, man. And you gotta factor in the welfare system where they told our fathers that if the woman want to receive assistance, that the man can't be there. Like, these are things happen. These not excuses. These are facts. That's what people gotta understand, yo. I don't make it. I'm giving y'all facts as to why these things happen. Charlie Kirk can't do that. He's just talking. He's just talking. And he's talking to people that's younger. They don't even know. They're young. They're too young. They're too young. They're too young. They're not equipped to have some of these conversations that they was having with this boy. Watch this. What year was Watch this. Yo, crime didn't start taking off in the black community to the 70s. Like I said, the 70s is when crime started shooting up in some of these black areas. So you gotta figure from the 70s all the way up until the 2000s, you got all of these things that's being done to the community. Like I said, crack epidemic, mass incarceration. And then you got at the same time, simultaneously, you got a propaganda machine running, telling the world that black people are violent. Black people don't take care of their kids. Then you got hip hop. You got hip hop that was motherfucking influence, or outside entities influence hip hop to change directions to start speaking gangster shit. Like all of these things happen, yo. Like I know like y'all don't want to admit it, because it's easier to just point the finger and say these people are the bad guys instead of the government. See, what y'all don't understand is, yo, we got the same issues. We all got problems with the same fucking people. You feel me? It's the government that's creating the division. And as long as they can create the division, as long as you got Republicans and Democrats, and you got people choosing the side, they're gonna play the middle and they're gonna play by against each other. That's really what's going on. If I was to run a media campaign for 30 years and just highlight all the crimes that's happening in the white community, all the crimes that's happening in the trailer park community, I guarantee people start looking at you different. You're gonna start looking at you different. You're gonna start looking at your neighbor different. Cause that's what they did to black people. Every day on the news, if you turn on the news and be like, man, white teen shot up a school. I just showed you the guy shot the police in his neck. These are white people, yo. These ain't black people. Yeah, it's greed. You will. Yo, media is real, y'all. I keep telling y'all, media is real, man. Propaganda is real. The narrative is important. And Charlie Kirk got bigger than the program. He started going off script. Okay, that's what it is. You ain't trying to understand Jacob. You ain't trying to understand Jacob. That's all. You want to live in a bubble, you know. You don't want to get an understanding of what's going on and why. You want to just continue living in the bubble, continue believing nonsense, continue believing lies. When I'm telling you, do you think Charlie Kirk or anybody outside of a black person can tell me what's the issues in the black community and why? Do you really think that? Are you that naive or ignorant to think that Charlie Kirk can tell me what's wrong? And he ain't never lived there. He ain't never lived there. He ain't never walked these blocks. He ain't got no friends. He ain't go to these schools. Like, yo, that is idiotic in itself. Yo, that is idiotic in itself, yo, for people to even think that. That's stupidity. That's stupidity. You know what I mean? Like, yo, but y'all want to believe it just because this is what you already... Let me tell you something, yo. It's a lot of money into reinforcing stereotypes. People pay you a lot for that. You can make a lot of money just reinforcing stereotypes, man. Millions. You know what I mean? If you think you got all the answers, it proves your mind is limited. I got all the answers when it comes down to my people. I got more answers than Charlie Kirk. When it comes down to the black community, he couldn't have no conversation with me about black people at all. He couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Just like I can't have no conversation with him about what's going on in white communities. I couldn't do it, but I wouldn't try. That's the difference in the situation. I'm not gonna go to you and tell you, man, look. Well, I am saying now, I think bad parenting is the reason we having all these issues. You know what I mean? How would y'all feel if we created a narrative, yo, that white people don't know how to take care of their kids? You don't see black school shooters running around. You don't see black people getting revolutionized. So what if I say, yo, that's a parenting issue? What if we start creating a narrative, yo, that white people don't know how to raise their kids right? Cause what the fuck is this? Why didn't the black man do this to Charlie Kirk? All the disrespect that he spewed. Why wasn't it a black person that did that? Why was it one of his own people? It looked like his own party. I think that's bad parenting. Y'all don't got the ability to recognize when your child being revolutionized, or what's the word? I can't think of the fucking word. Y'all don't got that ability. You can't tell if your child is getting moved too far left or right. I think we need parenting classes. Yeah, right. That's what I think. I think we need to we need to get some white parents together, and we need to come. Maybe we need stiffer laws. Maybe we need stiffer laws on radicalized parents. I mean, parents of radicalized children. Maybe we can do that. See, y'all don't like that conversation though. You know what? That conversation. That's the same conversation they had with black people. Let's have it. Now I think it's in 2025. I think it's finally time to have a conversation about white people and their lack of parenting. Cause my kids will never do no shit like this. My kids ain't gonna be no school shooters. My kids ain't been motherfucking. It ain't happening. It ain't fucking happening. They be too scared. They be too scared of what I do to them. You understand what I'm saying? What is it? Y'all not installing morals and principles in y'all children? Y'all children not scared of your reaction, the reaction that you'll have if they do something out of line? Maybe it's a parenting issue. Let's start talking about that. Maybe let's make that the conversation. Yeah, look, people leaving now. They don't want to hear. They don't want to hear that. Now this is the truth. Yeah, I mean, this is the. What you mean? Start categorizing people. This is America. This is the home of the categorizing people. I mean, this is the motherfucking epicenter of categorizing people. Now don't nobody want to get categorized no more. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Y'all crazy as shit. Now, look. Now, don't nobody want to get categorized no more now, right? I mean, no, don't categorize people. What you mean? We've been categorizing people for 50 years. Yeah, y'all unbelievable, man. Yo, for real, y'all is unbelievable, man. Don't categorize people. The crazy thing about it is I agree. You shouldn't categorize people. I agree. But the problem is, in this country, we always did it. Now, so what I'm saying is, why stop now? Why stop now? Why stop now? I'm offering parenting classes to the white community, man. Hit the cash app. I think it's a parenting issue, y'all. I really do. I think this is a parenting issue that needs to be addressed. Maybe y'all not sparing the rod. You know, in our community, it used to be a saying: you spare the rod, you save the child. Maybe the rod not being spared enough. Maybe y'all too lax on y'all children. Maybe it's neglect. It's white people neglecting their kids. Seriously though, is this a neglect issue in the white community, yo? Because why are these kids being radicalized this way? We just covered the situation where a 16-year-old went and shot up a school. They said he was radicalized. Leon, what's the boy name that killed the healthcare worker? And most of these are young kids. I mean, early 20s and younger. Mario Legion wouldn't kill that man, yo, because he disagreed with how he was handling his business. Yo, you don't see that from black people, man. I'm just saying, yo, we all got issues. But it seems like when it come down to the issues that's going on in the white community, don't nobody want to solve them. Y'all want to act like they don't exist. Y'all rather turn a blind head, but focus on what's going on in the black community. And what's going on in the black community is it's an economic problem more than anything. Economic problem. You don't see rich black kids out here doing shit like this. You know, we got rich kids too. We got rich kids. You don't see rich, you don't see black kids that's privileged. Privileged, you don't see privileged black kids out here doing mass shootings. You don't see that. You might see it with poor, but you don't see it with rich. I just think, yo, y'all gotta become better parents. That's really my final analysis. I think this is a parenting issue, yo. Cause I think if my kids was radicalized, I would know. You know what I mean? I think if my kids was radicalized, I would know and I would fix it. That shit wouldn't leave my household. I promise you. I promise you it wouldn't leave my household. It would not affect nobody else outside of my motherfucking house. So I get you. See, yo, but this the thing, yo. Why we can't make it a race thing now? It should have never been a race thing. That's all I'm trying to get y'all to see is how y'all view things when the light is shined on y'all. It been a race issue for 50 years, man. Now it's not a race issue. Unbelievable. But the crazy thing about it is, I agree. But for this conversation, I disagree. For this particular conversation, I disagree. Because y'all ain't say nothing before. Why I say something now? Why I say something now? Now that I'm saying that, yo, I think it's a parenting issue with the white community. Why we can't, you know, why we can't make it that? That's all I'm saying. Why we can't make it a parenting issue in the white community? Hold on, yo, we ain't done with this conversation. I gotta make this run. We staying on live. We gotta get to the bottom of this shit. We gotta get to the bottom of this, y'all. Hold on. We gotta get to the bottom of this. Yeah, I ain't never leave the store a day in my life. You see what you just did? Stereotypical. Why it's cool to stereotype black people, but y'all don't like to be stereotyped? Somebody answer that. Why is it cool and okay to stereotype black people, but y'all don't like to be stereotyped? Let's listen to Charlie. Talk to a young black girl.
I mean, you didn't, but Trump did. Yeah, you're gonna have to lower that one for me.
What's your name again?
Thank you. Naima, how are you
Naima,
doing?
it's been a while.
It's been a minute. How have you been?
Great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, hold up, y'all.
You did do that.
Hold on. Shit. Y'all funny as hell, man. I don't know any. I bet y'all can all tell me. I don't know no stereotypes of a Canadian American. I know y'all can all tell me stereotypes of black people. I'm just trying to say, yo, it wasn't never right. That's all I'm saying. It wasn't never right. And it's sad that we got to use this opportunity as an example, because this is a perfect example. Because look at the outrage now. Look at the outrage now. Was the outrage when Malcolm X was murdered? Did y'all feel this way about the assassination of Malcolm X? For the people that feel this way about Charlie Kirk, we all know who Malcolm X is. Did y'all feel the same way about him? Because he died for things that he spoke to. What about Martin Luther King, man? Y'all feel this way about him too? Or is it now that it hit close to home? Now that it's close to home, now it's an issue? When no issue before though. I just think that's strange. Hold on, y'all. I think that's strange, y'all. That y'all carrying it that way. I don't like it. I don't like it. I thought what was good for the goose was good for the gander, man. I mean, I ain't know people was like that. But yeah, but Christine, you probably one of the ones. I'm not talking about everybody. You know, some people, you know, do look at everything the same. Yo, but it's a large percentage of this country that don't. It's a large percentage of the people in this country that don't. And they only feel some type of way when it affects them directly. But what I'm talking about now is stereotypes. You know, why is it good to go one way and not the other way? If we're gonna create stereotypes, let's just create them on all people. But in my personal opinion, I don't think it was ever right. I don't think it was ever right. I don't think it was ever right to put a certain group of people in a box and say these are the people that's committing problems. I don't think it was ever right. Now they say yo was in a gay relationship with a trans. Let's see. Let's go to some of these stories that I covered. Man, be more in the building. You already know, man. Fucking the home team. Now you got this. Listen to this. Free speeches.
It's no shock that the left is mad that we are playing by their game. They created cancel culture and we are now playing by their rules and they can't stand it. In reality, it's just consequence culture. They're finally learning consequences to their actions. We're holding them accountable because complacency is what led us to the last week. What we saw to that poor girl on the bus, what we saw happen to Charlie Kirk, and so many other unfortunate situations. So they are seeing the consequences of their actions.
Absolutely. Hannah, you've got the...
Hold on. Yeah, I hope this is the right area, man, because this motherfucker ain't even answer the fucking phone. Where the fuck is they at? I hate when people do that. You say you want to talk, and then you don't even answer the phone when a call you don't know, a number you don't know call you. Yo, it's not a race war, yo, because this is white on white crime, Zeno. Black people ain't got shit to do with this. How y'all trying to make this?
1, 7.
Alright, so I guess we ain't even going nowhere. They just canceled. So we can get back We can get back to the regular schedule program. Why the fuck my phone not charging? Hold on. Oh, they already cleared it. Alright, so I guess we ain't going nowhere. At least not at the moment. At least not at the moment. What you talking about, bro? I don't support Black Lives Matter, James. Come on, James. You've been over here long enough. You know that. Because when I've seen you before. I was one of the ones, for the longest time, I think me and Candace Owens is probably the only black people calling out Black Lives Matter. So the funny thing about this, right? Like I was saying in the car, people keep talking about race baiting. Yo, these are not black problems. Fuck. This is not black problems, y'all. This is white on white crime, yo. It's a rise in white on white crime. I'm just saying, I think we need to give it some attention and stop ignoring it like it's not an issue. I don't think I'm wrong for that. I don't think I'm wrong in saying, yo, we've been ignoring white on white crime for so long. I think it's time for us to divert some resources to it. You know, maybe stiffer laws, like I said, stiffer laws on parents or radicalized kids. Maybe that'll help, you know, parent with you know, maybe that'll help them become better parents, you know, become more vigilant, you know, pay attention to the signs. You know, because it's always signs, yo. Like these things just don't happen out of nowhere. These things just don't happen out of nowhere, y'all. It's always signs. Let's see what happens. Hold on. So the shooter is not cooperating with police.
If you're not familiar with how all of this did play out, as far as the timeline, we know that Charlie Kirk was speaking. Those are some of the photos there at Utah Valley University. About 3,000 people in attendance as the gunshot was fired. He was rushed over to a hospital afterward, where sadly, we later heard from President Trump that Kirk did pass away. I want to discuss the case in general and what happens next. So let's bring in a friend of the show here. We do have Jillian Snyder, an adjunct lecturer at John Jay College of Criminal Justice and resident senior fellow at the R Street Institute. She is also a retired New York City police officer. Thank you so much, Jillian, for taking the time to join us here.
Good morning, Josh. Thanks for having me.
Good morning. Well, first off, I do want to ask you, because we know that within about 48 hours, we saw this arrest made, the suspect taken into custody after a reward was offered of $100,000. And also you had the videos and photos that were circulated. So based on your experience...
Tennis, I don't think, what I said that was ignorant. What I said that was ignorant, man. Let me know. You don't think this is a parent? You don't think that these parents should be able to identify their child being radicalized? Is that an ignorant statement? Let me know, y'all. Is that an ignorant statement to say, to assume that you can identify a child that's radicalized? That's ignorant? I would think that. I think I would know. If my kids was radicalized, I think I would know. I do. I think I would know. I think I would pay attention to the signs. You know.
Here, how how common is it to see an arrest made in a case of this magnitude here within 48 hours?
As you just said, he was taken into custody within 33 hours, and that's extremely fast by traditional investigatory norms, but it does often happen in high-profile cases, and it's because you have so much interagency cooperation. In this case, obviously, we had so much media exposure, and then once the release of the surveillance footage...
No, we ain't gonna do that, Mr. Joker. No, he was pushing way more than just price over that motherfucker, man. He was pushing way more than just, he was selling division, man. Like I said, I don't think he deserved to be killed for it. Yo, but he ain't the first. And he won't be the last. You feel me? That's all I want to get y'all to understand. He ain't the first and he won't be the last. You can't get that big talking like that, yo. You can't. You can't. Not in America. They need to just make it a law. You feel me? It's an unwritten law in America that, yo, if you get too big, yo, if you get bigger than the program, yo, your life is in jeopardy. They need to just write that shit into the Constitution. We need to update the Constitution. They need to write that shit in the law because it is a law in this country, unwritten.
Yes, exposure, and then once the release of the surveillance footage and videos
Hey Winston, yo, see, yo, don't just, I don't know about how many channels y'all watch, yo, but over here, yo, we don't just put out blanket statements. You know what I mean? Everything we say, you should be able to explain it. You shouldn't just be saying shit. Explain it. I don't think I said nothing wrong. I think what I'm doing is very helpful to the conversation. I think what I'm doing is very helpful to the conversation. I think me characterizing this radicalized kids as a parenting issue is wrong. Just like I think that Donald Trump saying black kids are inherently violent is wrong as well. You know, I don't think you should just lump everybody in a box and say, yo, this is the issue. These people the issue. But what I'm doing for the sake of this video is just shining the light back. Showing you that, yo, this is how it runs. This is how it goes. And if you was okay with it one way, you should be okay with it this way. I'm wrong for that? That's ignorant? What makes that ignorant? When this is the narrative that's been running on the black community for 40 years. But now that I'm saying, oh, I think it's an issue with white people. I think it's an issue, y'all. I think we need to, it's getting out of control. How many mass shootings did we have this year? How many mass shootings was in 2025? Yo, 54% of this country mass shootings are done by white people. Since 1982 to August 2025, out of 155 mass shootings in the United States during this period, 84 or 54% were carried out by white shooters. White Americans were responsible for 53% of the 195 targeted mass shootings recorded in the United States. 55.6% of mass shooting perpetrators were white. I don't know 35. I'm looking at the numbers right here, man. Fuck you think I'm making this shit up? I know it's backwards on y'all screen. I'm not making nothing up, bro. I don't make shit up over here, man. This is not a propaganda channel. I'm not making nothing up. I'm reading real stats. Y'all don't think this is a problem? Y'all don't think this is a problem? Y'all don't think we need to divert resources to this issue? I guess not. So we just gonna sit around and just wait for the next one. That's what we gonna do? Why we ain't do that when black kids was running rampant? You know, why when black kids was running rampant because they were living in poverty, why we decided, you know what we're gonna do? We gonna make stiffer law on crime. When's the stiffer law on parents coming? White parents specifically. When is the stiffer law on parents of radicalized children going to take effect? I want to know. Do y'all think we need it? Matter of fact, poll question. Poll question. Let me start a poll. Do we need stiffer laws on radicalized children, parents? So when we gonna make it happen? Why the fuck is this? Didn't put the poll question on the fucking screen. I think it's a valid question, y'all. I think we need to take this up with Congress. You know, Donald Trump, he wanna put the U.S. military all over the motherfucking black community. I just think we need to make it fair, man. What you mean? They just locked up some parents. They just locked up some parents of a kid that shot up a school. They just locked up some parents. That was not too long ago. Sentenced them too. Both of them going to prison. I just think we need to make it, make it a law. Stop. It shouldn't be a case by case basis. I'm not finger pointing. I'm not finger pointing at all. I'm just showing y'all the hypocritical way this country thinks and how people are. People are hypocrites. They're hypocrites. When there was a problem, when they was running this narrative on black kids and black parents, and everybody was for it. Now I'm running the narrative the other way, and people don't like it. But you shouldn't have never liked it. That's all I'm saying. You shouldn't have never liked it. It wasn't never right. It wasn't never right to stereotype a group of people and say, yo, these people are the issue. It wasn't never right. It wasn't right then, and what I'm doing ain't right now. That's all I'm saying. It ain't right. But I just need to shine a light because this is the perfect opportunity to do it, y'all, because like I told y'all, white on white violence is out of control. It's out of control. I gotta order my kids a fucking pizza. Hold on, man. I really do believe that's the issue, though. I really do believe that's the issue. Hey, Chris, I didn't make it like this. I didn't make it like that, but you see how you making all these excuses now? Where was these excuses? Where was this compassion when the roles was reversed? Where was this? Where was it then? Why didn't you have this same mentality then, man? Why wasn't it more y'all saying, yo, Charlie Kirk tripping? The fuck is you talking about, man? Like, you can't just put that on a group of people and just make this. Why wasn't nobody saying that then, man? Why now? Shit, white on white crime shit. No, I'm telling you what I'm saying. I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. Shit like this. Everything damn near. Look at this. I'm saying white on white crime out of control.
You do not have the brain. Good news. All remember.
Let me show you what else I'm saying.
Here says more. You know, ain't no.
Saying this.
And a family.
Serving as the command post for this manhunt.
And a family. So please remember him and his family.
We begin tonight with breaking news. A North Georgia police officer in critical condition after he was shot in the line of duty. The McKaysville police chief telling us Captain Brantley Worley has a broken neck and is suffering from brain bleeding. He was airlifted to a hospital in Chattanooga. Right now, the police are looking for this suspect, 26-year-old Timothy Ramsey, who's still on the run. The GBI just released this picture of what they say is Ramsey running away from the scene, wearing what they describe to be a bright green.
Because it's because it's propaganda, Matt. That's what all I'm trying to say, yo. If I showed y'all these videos every day and I did this shit for 50 years, I'm telling you, yo, you'll look at things different. You won't feel so safe coming out the house. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, man, you might got carry your strap when you go outside, man, because cause this is the narrative. It's all about the narrative, man. All media is propaganda. It's all about the narrative. Look, let me show y'all some more.
Bullshit, I've never been so pissed in my whole life. I'm Charlie Kirk, right here in Utah. I'm so freaking pissed right now. This is bullshit. I just saw blood squirting out of his neck. I love that guy. He would have been our next president. I am so pissed right now. Why the hell violence? God! Use the freaking words as they're talking to you people. Who's Charlie Kirk? I'm driving in a Provo right now. I'm so pissed. Damn it!
This is what I'm saying, man.
A Fox News alert. FBI sources tell Fox News Digital that the man charged with assassinating Charlie Kirk was living with a transgender partner. Bureau officials confirmed that Tyler Robinson was in a romantic relationship with someone transitioning from male to female. They say that individual is fully cooperating with their investigation, claims to have had no idea of Robinson's plans, and is not currently accused of any criminal activity.
Man, I don't think nothing funny about him being murdered.
Literally feel.
I ain't never gonna laugh at that.
This morning on Fox and Friends said that.
I ain't never gonna laugh at that. Ain't nothing funny about that shit. Nothing. Yeah, I don't think nothing funny about that shit.
Heard it. Christian? This is too damn much.
Yo, but see, she acting like this never happened before. You see what I'm saying? Maybe if people would have cared, this is my thing, right? If people would have cared when it happened to Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, Huey Newton, Omega Evers, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Maybe if people start caring when it doesn't affect you directly, maybe we can stop the things that do affect you directly. Just an option, just a thought. I mean, maybe it's possible. If people would have cared back then when it was happening to black people, I think Charlie Kirk might still be alive, man. We might not have another one of these type of situations. I just find it ironic that everybody cares now. You know, people care now, but they ain't care back then. Like, this shit been going on. Yeah, but it's not even black people. So how is it race baiting? It's not race baiting because this is not even a black issue. I mean, it's not black people doing this. This is white on white crime at its finest, man. This is white on white crime at its finest, man. And I think it's an issue in America. And I'm just saying, I think we need to put some more resources in it. I think we need to put some more resources in it.
Not great friends with this kid. I don't
Former
want to act
classmate.
like I knew him super well. But from my impression, I feel like I'm well observant. I would say that he was, yeah, absolutely very smart, and that was obvious. But I feel like he was just kind of one of those goofier kids. Like, I can picture him laughing in class and having friends. He wasn't one of the kids that, you know, was sitting alone in the corner, anything like that. I wouldn't describe him that way at all. But I would say he definitely had, or at least seemed to have, somewhat more of the personality of being very online, being very much in tune, like with memes, those kind of things. I feel like that was kind of the people that surrounded him as well. I would say that's my best impression of him. I don't want to go into too much depth and make anything up because that's not what I'm going to do, but that's what I'd give you.
No, we appreciate that. Do you know anything about him being, was he a hunter? Do you know if he went to shooting ranges?
No, I don't know anything about that.
Did you ever hear anything political from him? Did he ever give you a sense of how he leaned in a very broad way?
No, I wouldn't say that at all. I also feel like this is 2018. I don't think people were quite as opinionated on their side at the time, so you wouldn't just casually hear someone talking about something like that. And especially not me. I didn't see him enough or talk to him enough to really get that in depth about something.
Did he play sports? Did he have a girlfriend?
That I don't know. I don't think he played sports. Just from looking at my yearbook, he wasn't included on like any of the club pages or anything of that sort. So I wouldn't say that he did, but at least not for the high school.
We know that his father made a call when trying to convince him to turn himself in, called a youth pastor. Do you know anything about what church they attended, that the family went to?
No, I have no idea.
Did you ever hear anything about like what his goals were? I know that he got a scholarship. I mean, was there a particular, I don't know, career that he had talked about? Any sense of that?
No, I definitely didn't get an impression of anything like that. I just didn't know him well enough.
What was
Didn't get an impression of anything like that. I just didn't know him well enough.
What was your reaction to the news this morning when once we heard the FBI and the governor announce the name?
Yeah.
How did that strike you after having gone to school with this person for so long?
Yeah, it was extremely shocking. I still live in that same town, and I just couldn't believe that he was in my same class, my same high school, and that I had seen him so many times before.
So it sounds like he was a kid who just kind of blended in, did not stand out in any particular way, but there were no warning signs to speak of. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I would say so. I feel like of the times that...
And Mr. Joker, he wasn't donating time to the younger generation, he was pushing his views on. He just gained too much support. You heard what Candace Owens said, man. It was some very important people paid him, man. And he went too far left. He went too far right. If you see, that's the thing about the system. When you're working with the system, you pretty much gotta push that line. You gotta push their message. You can't really go opposite of their message, or you become a threat. That's why they only pay people they can control. If they can control you, they'll put some money in your pocket. But if they can't control you, they ain't gonna be promoting your page. You might say any motherfucking thing. They ain't with that. Hell no, we only gonna pay. He said, guys, they gotta be vertical, straight up. Man, you don't think he went far right? Half track. You don't think he went far right? I don't think he can go no further. That motherfucker went to the end of the earth. What you talking about? Man, that man went to the end of the earth, man. He couldn't go no further. There wasn't number water there unless he could swim. I mean, he went to the end of the land. You can't. He can't go no. He couldn't go no further, man. He couldn't. He can. Man, he was saying the platform could. Yeah, but a Joker, he wasn't. The people he was debating wasn't equipped. He was debating children. Like that's like me having a conversation with a 20-year-old. They can't. Yo, it's not a 20-year-old on this earth that can have certain conversations with me, man. You know what I mean? I'll be 40. You can't talk to me about politics at 20. You can't talk to me about the direction this country needs. The country, you just can't do it. You're not equipped. You haven't been on the earth long enough. You know, the best teacher is experience. I don't give a fuck how many books you read. You understand? You can read all the books in the world, yo, but you haven't lived it. You haven't experienced it. So your level of knowledge is only going to go but so far. He was 30 plus, early 30s, talking to 19-year-olds about politics. They can't have no conversation with you. He'll never lose an argument. He'll never lose a debate. Ever. You know what I mean? Not talking to them. Because they don't know. They still learning. They still learning. And that's another thing. Like JB said, he was debating without someone there to call him out on the facts. Yeah, because a lot of things he said wasn't facts, right? What he was saying about black people wasn't facts. Yo, black people don't even support DEI. You know what I mean? Like, yo, he's sitting there, yo, DEI hires and making it to black people. Yo, black people didn't benefit from DEI. Yo, we didn't even support that shit. Yo, a lot of these laws that they put a black face on, yo, they don't benefit black people. You know what I mean? They don't benefit. Yeah, some do, yo. I'm talking about the broad, you know, just like how they thought Black Lives Matter was black people. Yo, we never supported that on a large scale. A lot of us knew that shit was a scam. I knew it was a scam based off all the support they got. Now all of a sudden, the NBA, the NFL, Nike, all these, after all these years of mistreatment, now all of a sudden, all these people are now want to get behind the black movement. Man, that was the gay movement, man. That was the LGBTQ movement, man. Because since they've been around, look how far that movement has went. That's what it was from the beginning. And I got shadow banned on Facebook for telling people that. That wasn't black people. But what it did was certain people, certain white people, built a hatred for black people off of Black Lives Matter, but that wasn't even a black movement. Wasn't even a black movement. Wasn't even a black movement, man. Hold on, y'all. I gotta make a phone call. Hold up. What does that mean? Just release. Larry Hoover. Larry Hoover is a political prisoner. That man been locked up for what, 50-something years, man. That man is not a threat to anybody. Hold on, man. Yeah, like who was a political prisoner, man? What I'm saying is, bro, these things are not new. You know, all of this stuff already happened before. And just to, like I always say, it's similar to when you got injustices in America, right? Where a person get gunned down or get murdered innocently. You know, don't nobody want to say nothing. You know, everybody wants to. You know, it ain't got nothing to do with me, but it does, man. Cause we all in this country together. We all, we all can be a victim at any given time. What I'm saying is, if you start focusing on the injustices when it happens to other people, maybe you can avoid it when it happens to your people. You know, maybe you or be at least better prepared. You know, that's all I'm saying. Like, these things have been going on for years, man, decades, and they're gonna continue to go on. They're gonna continue to go on until we all get on one accord and realize shit ain't right. Candace Owens said he was getting paid by some very, very powerful people. Some very, very powerful people. And she gotta, like I said, she gotta watch out. She not exempt. You feel me? He was getting paid by some powerful people, y'all, and I think he was being paid to push. What's up, Quentin? Yeah, right. If they study Black history, wouldn't be surprised. He was getting paid by some people to push their message, and I think he went off script. Can't go off script when they paying you, man. Look what they did to Diddy. You know what I mean? Diddy went off script. Turned around and sued them people. Hell no. You can't do that after we've been paying you all this time. You can't then come around and try to sue us for discrimination that we helped you. Man, how they look at it? Man, fuck out of here. Your ass going to jail, Diddy. Fuck you think this is? And if we can't keep you there for life, we're going to keep you there as long as possible. You ain't get no bail or nothing. We gonna slander you all through the media. This is how this shit work, man. When you get a better understanding of how this shit work, you won't be surprised, and you'll be able to see through it when it happens. I don't know who paying them. I don't know who paying them. I'm just telling you. I'm pretty sure this how this works. You know, you gotta stay on script, man. A lot of people did fall for it. But what I'm saying is, the people that was out protesting, they weren't black people. Go back and look at some of the Black Lives Matter rallies. You're gonna see motherfucking rainbow flags. You're gonna see people out there bitch doing splits. You're gonna see white people, black people, Chinese, Asian, Hispanic. Like, yo, it ain't never been a black movement that was that damn diverse. That's how I knew it was fake. Like, hold the fuck up now. All of a sudden, everybody care about black issues. Everybody. Like, man, get the fuck out of here, man. They've been out here doing us bad for 40 years. Now everybody, you just woke up in the morning and everybody care now. Man, that shit fake. That's how I knew it was fake. That shit not real. Alright, bro. Appreciate you tapping in, man. Hey, AG, whatever the fuck your name is. If I followed Charlie Kirk, right? Me as a black man, if I followed him, I would have seen this day coming. Is what I'm trying to tell you. I'd have seen this day coming because it's a long history of this. You feel me? Like, he's not the first person that this happened to. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He's not the first person that this happened to. He won't be the last. Won't be the last. They tried to kill Trump, crying out loud. 3 times. Three times. You see how he got in line, right? Y'all notice the change in Donald Trump? You notice how he changed now? He ain't the same president from the last 4 years. I don't know if y'all peeped that or not. Did y'all notice that? Or y'all still blind? Have y'all noticed that this is not the same president that was here 4 years, the last 4 years? Yeah, I bet you is out. You ever had a real conversation? Oh, I don't support Project 2025. Yo, come in and implement everything for Project 2025. He would have did that 4 years ago, man. 4 years ago, he was rolled. You know what they did? They maliciously prosecuted his ass. They motherfucker slandered him through the media. They motherfucker tried to murk his ass. Now you are controlled. Now you gonna push our message. That's how this shit work, man. Y'all just be, I don't know, man. People just don't understand how shit go in reality, man. Y'all think this is a motherfucking upstanding country where everybody got a freedom of speech and, yeah, man, yeah, that shit not real, man. You think you better I say the wrong thing. I tell you that. Say the wrong thing if you what? Gather support and say the wrong thing if you what? Watch what happens to you or your family. Oh yeah, straight up gangsterism. The biggest gangsters. That's where the streets came from. The streets came from politics. They know that's not how they talk about street politics. Yeah, man. The streets came from politics, but nobody pays attention to what goes on in politics. You know, everybody focused on the streets. And politics is not ran by black people. Politics is ran by white people. The biggest gangsters. Go to FBI 10 most wanted list. You ain't gonna see a black face on it. Go to the world's most dangerous criminals. You ain't gonna see a black face on that motherfucker. Yeah, Black Lives Matter was a scam. Black Lives Matter definitely was a scam. Yo, so Durham, you don't notice the difference? You haven't noticed the difference in Donald Trump? Do you think is this the same Donald Trump from the last presidency, or did he change? I don't know that. That don't sound familiar to me, bro. Yo, hit that like button. Okay. I'm just saying. I seen it. Yo, but that was one of the issues when I was talking about Trump. I said, yeah, my only problem. Do y'all remember this when we was talking about Trump? I said, no, he ain't get better. He ain't get better. I said the only problem I see, I think Trump might be compromised. I think he might be compromised this time. I said that. They compromised him, yo. You know what I mean? Look what they did to him, man. They put fake charges on him. You know what I mean? Made him a fucking convicted felon. I mean, yo, some people, yo, it's either you going, yo, they force you to conform, man. You know what I mean? It's either you're gonna get down or lay down. You know what I mean? That's how this shit work. It's either you're gonna get down or you're gonna lay down. And when you lay down, you stay down. That's how it works. Why would she call that phone? That's how it works, y'all. It's America, man. Get down, you lay down, you stay down. Hold on. Bullfrog. Hey, y'all want to hear something funny? It ain't even funny for real. So y'all know lately, right? We've been talking about white on white crime, and so my mother works out Columbia. My mother works out Columbia, right? And she was telling her coworkers like, yeah, my son was talking about it. Yeah, why she go to the live. When she go to the live, I'm over that bitch talking about, we need to put more police in white communities. I said, man, what the fuck, man? Hey, man, you know I'm liable to say anything. Like, why would you do that, man? She said her coworker she just turned her head. I said, man, you wasn't embarrassed, was you? She's like, no, I wasn't embarrassed, but I did feel funny. I was like, man, you can't be doing that, man. You know I'm liable to say anything. Hold up. You said what? Who loves black people just like I did? Cause I'm American, black American. Hey, yo, that shit was funny as shit, boy, bro. I said, man, why the fuck would you do that? You know I'm liable to say anything. You can't, you can't just be doing that, man. And then she didn't go to the right video. She should have been trying to go to the video when I was, when I was just talking about him. Like in that video, we wasn't even talking about him. We were just talking about the rise on white crime. She go with that bitch. And I'm over there motherfucker talking about, we need to put more police in the white business. But we do though, y'all. We need to send the National Guard to Utah. Yo, do y'all think Utah need the National Guard? Yeah, but see, that's the thing though, Rich. Mad at who? Who they mad at? Yo, because this guy that did this was a Republican, y'all. I don't know if y'all know that, right? Y'all know that the shooter's a Republican, right? Y'all do know that, right? Or people still think it was a Democrat that did that. Yo, the shooter was a Republican. I could have sworn I had some black mouths, y'all. You hit the like button, y'all. He was raised by on his voter registry it say Republican. On his voter registry it says Republican. You know, it's different kinds of Republicans, y'all. I'm sure y'all know that. You know, every Republican not backing all that shit that they pushing. I say everybody need to vote independent. Well, the media is serious, man. Yo, that's what the media does, y'all. The media is a serious motherfucker, man. What I'm saying is, media pushes narratives. The media pushes narratives, y'all. A lot of times false narratives. A lot of times false narratives. Yeah, but I still think it's bad parenting, y'all. Like, you should be able to see if your child being radicalized, especially a child that live with you. Or if you don't live with you, you should be able to know if your child's radicalized. I think we need better parenting. You know, maybe we need to start some parenting classes. You know, whites only. You know, whites only parenting classes. Because we can't keep having this, y'all. People homeschooling their kids and shit. can't keep experiencing this type of shit. It's not safe. You know what I mean? It's not safe, bro. It's not cool. So Long Crime Network did a video. Talking about the conspiracy theories. Let's check that out. I'll run in the store real quick. What him gotta be a police guy then do be being radical? No, because it's a joke. You know, I'm really not. Yo, I'm not being what's the word I'm using? What's the word to use? I'm just trying to be fair, man. You know, we had these stricter laws on crime, yo, that disproportionately affected black people. What I'm saying is, mass shootings and mass shooters are disproportionately white. Radicalized children, for the most part, are white by numbers. You know, it's a greater chance for a radicalized child to be white that do something like this. What I'm saying, if we're being fair, what they did to black people, they need to now do to white people. Because this is an issue in this country. And it has been an issue. And it's been unaddressed. It's not being addressed. We're just sitting around allowing these things to go on. And what I'm saying is, maybe it's a parenting issue. Now, I could be wrong. It could not be a parenting issue. But to not even address it or try to give it any attention, that's hypocritical of the United States. That's very hypocritical of the United States. Because I'm going to tell you this. If this was black kids doing this, I guarantee you something will be done. I guarantee you something will be done. But Benzo is white kids. You know, people don't have that same energy. So all I'm doing is shining the light back. To say, all right, this is how we handle this situation. What we doing now? Why are we not handling it the same way? That's my issue. That's the whole point of this live. Why are we not handling it the same way?
Judges, there's some extent. We're taking some time to discuss some of these theories that have been spreading quite quickly online and in the media, as well as brand new information.
Now, y'all, Long Crime Network isn't a real news source. Like I tell y'all, Long Crime Network is a blog site. So you got to keep that in mind when you listen to them.
On the suspect. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Federal and state authorities in Utah say they have arrested the gunman, the man who allegedly took the life of political activist and media personality Charlie Kirk, identifying him during a news conference this morning as 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, who actually, by the way, lived hours away from Utah Valley University. But authorities say he is the man. They say he is the one who brought a bolt-action rifle to the top of a campus building and fired one shot at Kirk, who, by the way, was speaking in this debate-style event in front of thousands of people. That bullet, and I'm sure you've seen the videos, that bullet hit Kirk in the neck. He was rushed to a hospital, but the married father of 2 young children was pronounced dead at just 31 years old.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident.
Robinson, he was taken into custody around 10 p.m. He was booked into jail. According to FBI Director Kash Patel, after surveillance images and video of this suspect was released to the public, they received thousands of leads. While he said that they're going to follow up on all those leads, even though there's an arrest, there are still so many theories about what happened here, and you wonder, is it really going to quiet that conversation? We're talking misunderstandings, we're talking misinformation, we're talking up conspiracy theories, general theories. That is what we want to get into right now, because even with someone in custody, a lot of these theories, I wonder, will they continue to circulate? You know that there's going to be people who say, oh, this is just the fall guy, there's something bigger here, maybe there's other people involved. Now, you know we've been on top of the story from the very beginning, and we are able to do that because of the incredible support that we get from our sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. This is America's largest injury law firm. This is a firm with over 1,000 attorneys. You know why they're so big? Because they win a lot. They have recovered over $25 billion for more than 500,000 clients. Think about that. In the past few months, a client in Florida received $12 million after the insurance company offered just $350,000. Out in Pennsylvania, a client was awarded $26 million. That is 40 times the insurer's $650,000 offer. You have another client in Pennsylvania who received $29 million after being offered only $500,000. And even if you think your case isn't worth millions of dollars, why not just start a claim and fight for what you deserve? Morgan & Morgan, they make it so simple. You can start a claim from your phone in just 8 clicks. So if you're injured, you can easily start a claim at forthepeople.com/LC sidebar by clicking the link below or scanning the QR code on screen. So I want to start with the shooting itself. This is a big one. You probably saw this too. The white hat guy, right? Let's take a look.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Counting or not counting gang violence?
Now, you see him standing behind Charlie Kirk. So it appears that he touches his hat, then his ear, and then it's followed by a guy right next to him in black who puts his arm out and touches it. Now, that appears to be one of Charlie Kirk's security members. And then right there, right then, that is when Charlie Kirk is shot. So the theory is, were they signaling the shooter? That is a conversation that has been happening online. I mean, look, it is strange and it is weird that out of all topics and out of all times for Kirk to be shot, he's talking about gun violence, talking about transgender people being shooters, and the last word he says before he's shot, the word is violence. It's creepy. It's chilling. It's strange. Now, I will say, it appears, when you look at another video, another angle, those two individuals, when the shot is fired, they look legitimately shocked. I think there's an argument there. They seem to be surprised by the gunfire. And the argument is, right, they're actually in the line of fire too. Now, it does bring up something else. It brings up the issue about whether or not multiple people could in fact be involved. We heard what President Donald Trump said on Wednesday.
My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country.
I actually asked former CIA and FBI agent Tracy Walder about this before the arrest of Robinson. Take a look. Do you think this is a situation where it was one person acting alone, or do you think it was coordinated and there was some help? I mean, we don't know at this point. I've seen a lot of...
When things like this happen, there ain't never one person acting alone. There ain't never one person acting alone. I don't know what they saying. Yo, I read an article, right? Where one of the latest shooter co-workers was talking about, they had a conversation about firearms. Yo, this kid said the longest shot he ever took, he ever made, was 450 yards away, y'all. That's 4.5 football field. This little dude hit a target from 450 yards away. Man, his ass was scouted. They did a scouting report on his motherfucking ass. I mean, what's the average person? What you think the percentage of the average person? The average person can do that. If we can put a percent on people that can hit a target from 450 yards away, what would you think the percentage would be? 1? Less than 1%? 0.3? What do you think the percentage would be, y'all? Like, seriously. 450 yards away? That's like motherfucking... Yeah, that's a long ass distance, man. I don't even think it'd be that, Quentin. I think that should be like point something. Should probably be like 0.2. It should probably like 0.2%, man. Shorty was damn near marksman. He should have been in the army. But yeah, y'all, when things like this happen, it's almost never a lone shooter. It's almost never a lone shooter. They might can tell shit to some people, but we done got too many instances in the black community. Sure, he probably had some informants around him. They probably infiltrated his crew. Man, I'm tired of this shit work. That's how they always do. He probably had informants around him and everything. But hey, Quinn, we talking about 450 yards, bro. Hey, Quinn, you been to the Ravens? You been to a Ravens game? The Ravens field, I think in the end it's like 120 yards. You imagine 4 of them motherfuckers hitting the target. Imagine hitting the target, yo. That distance times 4. Yeah, that's different, yo. That's a different level of shooting. Oh, you in Dallas? Oh, all right, okay. Yeah, that's it. Well, we go to the Cowboys Stadium. That's a different level of shooting, man. Yeah, I read that shit the other day. Cause the last couple of days I've been. The last couple of days, you know, cause I ain't know nothing about this dude until that my phone ready to die, y'all. I ain't know nothing about this dude until recently. Yeah, so the last couple of days, I've been since we ain't been talking about him, I've been trying to learn about him. Cause he probably wanted to get caught. Yeah, because yo, at the end of the day, this was a message, man. This is a message to all those people talking like that. Stay in line. Like it's the same message they sent to Martin Luther King, man. Same message they sent to Malcolm X. Stay in line. And I'm sure they warned them. They always warn you before they do for the things like this happen. It's always a warning. Before something like this happened, it was a warning. I seen Candace Owens talking about a letter that was wrote. Hold on. So Benjamin Netanyahu, Yahoo, whatever the fuck his name is. He talked about a letter that Charlie Kirk wrote. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. And Candace Owens is arguing with another, I guess, conservative about the contents of this letter. And Candace Owens said the girl was lying. Let's see if I can find it. Candace Owens checked Laura Lomer after she calls her insane over Netanyahu and Charlie Kirk claims. So Candace Owens said Bibi Netanyahu lied about the contents of the letter Charlie wrote to him in May. It was a lie by severe admission, and it isn't sitting right with me. So the girl Laura Loomer said this is insane behavior. Charlie Kirk is dead and you're trying to make it about Israel and Jews. Please stop for the sake of Charlie, his wife, and his kids. I can't even believe people are focused on things like that right now. Radicalization is real. I do believe radicalization is real. Maybe we need to get stuff lost. So Candace Owens say, I just watched my friend get shot in the neck, and you can literally shut the fuck up forever, for all I care. BB lied, point blank. You're not going to gaslight us into pretending the lie was casual or any way okay. Also, your dumbass was trying to finger Tucker Carlson. Hold on. Also, your dumbass was trying to finger Tucker non-existent silence as bizarre, like 24 hours ago. So just shut the fuck up. Or re-handcuff yourself to Twitter headquarters while the adults get to the bottom of this. Yeah, they was beefing. I ain't ready to read all this other shit. Yeah, I'm sure the adults like your buddy, I Am Curl Show, who hosted your show while he had a baby. While you had a baby, we'll get to the bottom of this. Insane claim that Israel killed Charlie Clark. This is insanity. And it's embarrassing that people like you both are entertaining this. Netanyahu talked about the letter as a sign of respect to Charlie to his honor. Would it kill you not to make one thing about the Jews in Israel just for one day? It's beyond parody at this point. How crazy people have become with this Jewish obsession. You know what you're doing and what you're trying to suggest. Your buddy Ian said it with zero evidence. And from the way you're reacting, I can only imagine you're trying to spew the same narrative. It's shocking. It's really shocking. So Candace Owens say BB brought up the letter himself and severely misrepresented the contents of it. I'm calling on him to publish the entire thing for the same reason that seems to have sent you on an emotional spiral. Because you lie like him. I see exactly what you are. It's going down, man. It's going down, y'all. Candace Owens, I like Candace Owens, to be honest. I really do. I don't like when she speaks about the black community, but when she talk about everything else outside of that, I support Candace Owens. She gotta be careful. The president of France coming down on her too. She got a lawsuit. Being out lawsuit. So they trying to silence her too. Because she jumped over the line too. You know, she was a gun-ho Trump supporter. Now she ain't really on that wagon no more. She jumped off the wagon. Once you jumped off the wagon, now you're a threat. You got too many people listening. Got too many people listening. You gotta stay on course, man. Gotta stay on par with the agenda. Got to. If you're gonna take them people money. If you're gonna take them people money, you better stay on course. I gotta let my phone charge up. I don't know. We ain't ready to have a George conversation over there. You know why? I know they have fucked my channel up. Cut my live off. Bury me in the algorithm. So man, that shit crazy. But yo, make sure I hit that like button. Make sure you share the live. I gotta charge my phone. My phone on like 10%. If it's still slow, I'll go live again once my phone get to like 50 or 60%. It's another day of Keep It G News, and I'm out.